Hi y'all, it's Amanda here, and I just wanted to share a little moment that I had last weekend that was really beautiful with you. I had the pleasure of joining a friend of mine at the grave of Bev Stanard. He was 19 years old when he fought in the Battle of New Market, and he passed away in that battle. And my friend and I just took a moment to sit with Bev at his grave and surrounded by his loved ones as well in that spot. And she has studied him extensively, and so we just sat there and I asked her, tell me about him. Tell me about the letters you've read, what kind of person he was. Tell me what you feel when you sit here. And we ended up having this beautiful moment together. And as part of our conversation, she kind of swept her arm over all the graves and looked out and said, it just makes you think, does it matter? Sitting here looking out at all this, many of these names and faces have long been forgotten. Many of these people, we don't know their story. So who's to say that that won't be us, that we will sit here, someday our bones or our dust will be somewhere, and is that the best that we can hope for of our existence? Does it even matter if we're just going to be dust? That kind of a question. Ooh, big existential question. And it was interesting, as I sat there, something in me kind of stirred, and I thought, well, absolutely we matter. My God, we're sitting here at the grave of a 19-year-old boy who passed away over 150 years ago, and we're talking about his life. And the thing is, too, that my friend and I, who were sitting there, we met because of a mutual interest in another Civil War soldier, another man who had been dead over 150 years. And so I think what came to mind for me was, maybe we don't see our impact or how we matter even in our lifetime. Or maybe we do. But I would argue that even the names, even the faceless names, even the people we don't remember, in the time when they lived and breathed, they were a part of, the consciousness that existed at the time. They were a part of what made the world tick and move in their own small ways. And so, right, my argument is, without every single one of us, without every single one of our consciousness, our existence, our soul, whatever you want to call it, without us, our individual beings, it's a fact that the collective would be different without each one of us. If one of us is gone, the collective is different. That's the truth. And so isn't it interesting that I had this sense just sitting there, it's like, no, we're vastly important. We make impact that we will never realize, really. Just by being who we are, how we are, doing our very best with the life that we have. We do matter immensely. And at the same time, we are this tiny piece in this giant puzzle. And I don't know what it was about sitting there and having that conversation, but it really had a profound impact on me. And perhaps it's because I myself have thought many times over the last few months, I have wondered if it matters. If I am here to exist and it has no meaning, then I don't want to exist. And so I also feel like I've been on a little bit of a path to discover the meaning and for me personally, why do I wake up and keep breathing every day? does it matter? And for me, sitting there at Bev's grave made it very clear, just for a split moment of clarity, that yes, it absolutely matters. That 19-year-old boy didn't do, if you zoom out, his life, did he do anything that remarkable? Did he change the world single-handedly with his 19 years? No. But he mattered. And because of him, me and a friend were sitting there thinking about the fact that we matter. I don't think that was his intention in living, but yet somehow that's the meaning he was able to take on. And isn't that pretty magical? I think that aspect of trust is something that I've also had a hard time with. When I can't see the result of what I'm doing, how can I trust that it's for something good? And it kills me to think that my life, my love, the people I care about, that any of it is in vain, that the losses I've experienced were in vain. But I think sometimes we also can't see the reasons until much later. And so you have to trust, well, you don't have to, but you can choose to trust that there is meaning and purpose and magic and mystery and all of those things. And it was just this incredible moment of clarity and insight. And, whether you believe in spirits, in the souls of people going on, being able to speak to us or not. I mean, me personally, I have had experiences with that. And, I'd like to think that part of our musings sitting there that day was that Bev's soul was there with us, participating in the conversation. But even if you don't believe in anything that etheric, I guess, you can believe in the facts of the matter, which was that we were touched and moved by the life of this man. And we never knew him. And to me, that's an illustration of the interconnectivity of all of us. That we matter. And so I hope you've heard me say over and over again in this video that you matter. I matter. Our existence here matters. And we don't have to do anything extraordinary or strive to be anything other than what we are in order to matter. So I'll leave you with that. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Sending you lots of love.